Welcome back, everyone. This is Anime Degens episode 164 this week. It's Nam and I with an old friend of ours, taking Dan's place this week. And I feel like he does a pretty good job. I mean, he can do a pretty good job because I'm pretty sure that he can do just as good as a Canadian accent as Dan can if he wanted to.
He might even be able to do a better one. I
Maybe.
feel.
Dan's spent a lot of time up north, so there's a chance, he in like in Canada, so there's a chance that he might have Thomas beat. But I know Thomas, he watched a lot of the one show,
Letterkenny.
yeah, Letterkenny. That's one of Dan's favorite shows. So I feel like they're like a lot alike. And we had to add someone to replace Dan this week because he's off in La La Land somewhere. Actually, I think I got a text message earlier, and I'm pretty sure he said that he was like in Little Garden, visiting the Giants this week. So
Okay.
he's living it up. So
Heck yeah.
just watching all the dinosaurs with a beer in his hand. He's
You gotta
living
watch out for
life.
those ticks.
He went from Aruba to Little Garden. Man, what a life. This man's hitting all the Caribbean hot stops.
Yeah, it's a good old time with Odan. But yeah, we got Thomas here with us today, aka Psycho Slammer. He's been our friend for a long time. I don't even know how many years. It's been like 7, 8, 9 years, maybe 10. I'm not sure, but we've known him for a long time. So, you say 11?
Oh, it's been a while.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it really has. I think he's one of my oldest online friends, other than like Scoofy. Scoofy was like one of my first online friends. So, but yeah, it's good to have him on here finally because I've been looking for a reason to get him on here, and that reason was always going to be One Piece. I felt like it was just a matter of time. So we're talking about the One Piece live action today. Season 2 just dropped a few weeks ago. And we figured we'd get him on here to give us his perspective since he's newer to One Piece, whereas Nam has been watching it, for 40 years now, and I've been watching it for about 10. So,
40 years.
It feels like it's been going on for 40 years. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even that old, and it feels like it's been going on for 40 years.
But yeah, how you doing today, Thomas?
I'm doing all right. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready to talk One Piece. The live action had me cooking, dude.
I heard you watched it twice. Before this episode.
Watched it a second and a half time. I was to episode 4 earlier.
Oh,
again.
Okay.
It's good. It's really good.
Hell yeah. Well, I guess before we get started, like I always say, if you want to support us, the best way to do it is make sure you rate the podcast. Tell all your friends about us. Even just like Dan says, make sure you tell your grandmas about it. They might like this stuff too. Give them a new, a new genre to explore or whatever. They might like, Turbo Granny and Luffy and stuff like that. So they're about the same age. The voice actors are. But yeah.
They're literally the same voice actor.
I know, that's what I said.
Don't even say that they're near the same age. It's literally the same person.
I'm talking about the grandmas and
the actor.
Yeah, the voice actor. So they're literally the same age. But yeah. Linktree.com/animedegens. Make sure you rate us on all your podcast platforms, all that good stuff. Visit the YouTube channel if you want to see our pretty faces. Make sure you like us and hit the bell thing or whatever it is. Before we get started, I want to take a moment to kind of let y'all get to know Psycho Slammer / Thomas. We're gonna let him kind of tell people where they can find him at and stuff like that because he does do content as well. So I'm gonna let him do that real quick.
I'm just psycho_slammer on Twitch. Do the stream about every day. Sometimes I miss it, but we're all human. Other than that, yeah, just playing games, hanging out. making friends.
He says he streams about every day, but he streams like 3 times each day. So,
Sometimes.
so
The
Sometimes it's
ADHD
just
rules.
one really, really long stream.
Yeah.
don't let him lie to you. He's online a lot. So if you look him up, you probably won't miss him for very long. So, but yeah, just wanted to get that out of the way real quick. And I want to get into like the listeners kind of know what me and Nam are about, but they don't really know you as well as we do. So we want to get like your anime origin story. Like, when did you start watching anime? Like, and what did you start with? And like, what was that like? What was your journey like, leading you to this point? Kind of.
Well, I mean, obviously, I grew up as most 90s and early 2000s kids did, watching Toonami and all that stuff. So we seen the Dragon Ball Z, and we obviously know all about that one. But then, like,
Yeah. I do too. Yeah.
Yeah,
I watched
Tyler doesn't.
the first
actually.
one. The first one that really hit was Darker Than Black, though. I think that was the first one that was really like the first anime that I watched, and that was in 2009, just after I graduated high school. And then that really got me into it. I started casually watching animes here and there, but took a big break, and then we jumped back in with One Piece. So that's been an adventure there.
So
He jumps into One Piece after saying, "I'm not watching One Piece. It's
I'm
over
never watching
1,000
it."
episodes. I'm never watching that shit. I don't
So-
care how good it is."
I did say that.
I want to know who got you to start watching One Piece.
Honestly, it would probably be a really heavy combination between the two of you both here. You dropping the subtle occasional like, "Oh, you can do it if you want to, but I'm not pressuring you at all." And then Nam with the like, "Hey, you're gonna watch this anime because I need to talk to you about anime. So it's gonna happen one way or another." So it was really a heavy combination of the two of you, for sure.
I mean, I'll take a half a point. I've been keeping track of how many people I've gotten to experience peak. And it's more than I can count on one hand. So I think I'm doing a really good job at like pushing the One Piece agenda. So
Yeah.
Three,
The
four,
One Piece
4.5,
agenda.
5.5 now. My list is growing.
Is that
I'll
how many
say.
you've done?
So
Let's see.
far.
I
So
got
far.
I got Scroofy, Deadly, Terry, Psycho is the half. There was like two or three like Facebook gaming people that I got to watch One Piece back in the day too. I'm probably closing on 2 hands, honestly. I just don't know it for sure. So
You got 100% confirm those to get
I
them on
don't
the
I don't
hand.
have receipts for those, but I'm pretty sure I'm closing on 2 hands. I'm doing Oda's work out here. So
What
he
do
should
you
pay
mean?
me.
We all doing Oda's work. One Piece doesn't need to be advertised. One Piece is literally spread by word of mouth.
Yeah, I think I was watching like one of the interviews because they released like a podcast episodes with the One Piece live action season 2, and one of them was Inaki Godoy, which is Luffy. He was interviewing Oda, and he asked him, he was like, if you had to pitch One Piece to someone to get them to watch for the first time, how would you do that? And Oda said, basically, like, you basically need to watch it because for the like the character, the relationships between the characters, and like the personalities of the characters, and that's what he loves the most about One Piece, and that's what he urges other people to watch One Piece for. I thought that was a pretty cool answer. So from Oda himself.
Was that the interview that Luffy's actor learned Japanese just specifically
Yeah,
to interview
pretty
Oda?
much.
I think I
Yeah.
watched that episode for it too,
Well-
because he was hyping it up that he had learned Japanese specifically to speak to Oda.
So That was actually so there was two different interviews. There was like a behind the scenes interview where him and Oda was together in the same room and he'd done the whole interview in Japanese. And that was not the interview that he said that
Okay.
in. This was like Oda
A
was on like
separate
a
interview.
Zoom call, like a video
Okay.
call, and he did occasionally talk in Japanese, but most of the time Inaki Godoy he was talking in English.
So that way, then they were
Yeah.
translating.
Yeah, and Oda was, subtitles. So I would assume that, somebody was translating to Inaki, but I'm not 100% sure. But that was the one. I would actually, if you enjoyed the One Piece live action, I would actually go back and watch the podcast episodes. There's like 5 of them, like 30 minutes long. And like they're really cool. So it's got just a bunch of the characters, talking to other people. So it's pretty cool time. So um, but yeah, that was your origin story, pretty much. Did you have anything else to say about that, or did we like get off on a tangent already?
I honestly we just pretty much just got back into it at One Piece, and that's where we're at right now. I think I'm just pushing up into the 960s or 950s in the anime, and then obviously I've just rewatched season 2 halfway through for the third time now of the live action.
And so you got like what 200? Isn't it about like 200 more episodes now?
I think it's a little more
right
than
around
200.
Yeah. Which One
it's
Piece
like 204, I think, is
Yeah.
the amount you have left, because it's
Yeah.
like 1150 or 1165 or something like that, or 1166 where it ends.
Yeah.
Um,
Elbaf, which is the newest One Piece arc or whatever, it's coming out in like 2.5 weeks, I think. So you got 2.5 weeks to watch 200 episodes, Psycho. I'm sorry, you had to get it done.
I will be getting it done, but as I told Mom, I was specifically pacing myself so there was no empty gap between ending and the Elbaf arc starting. I wanted to be like right on pace with everyone else, so I was like fresh up to it when it started up.
Have you been watching it dubbed?
I have been watching it dubbed.
Well, I just seen yesterday that the final 2 episodes of Egghead was finally dubbed, so it's officially caught up to the
English
break.
dub then.
So
okay.
yeah.
So I will be able to fully catch up in the dub.
Yeah, I don't know where it's at though. It's probably like on Netflix. I don't know if it's on Crunchy or not. I'm not sure.
It should be on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, maybe. Sometimes they do weird shit though with the dubs, with One Piece dubs. So I don't know, but
Keeping them gate kept.
yeah, pretty much. But I did see that, so that's pretty cool to see, because then maybe they can like keep it rolling and maybe simul dub it now, since it's gonna be a seasonal anime. So that'll be pretty cool. But another question real quick, before we, move into the main topic. We kind of want to get to know you a little bit better, and we know that One Piece is probably your number one anime of all time, probably.
Yeah.
We want to know your other like favorites. It doesn't have to be in any order. Just favorite animes, or you can do top 3, top 5, whatever. Whatever you want to do.
I've started watching Kaguya-sama, Love is
Yes.
War. That one's it's humorous. It's very high school drama-esque, and that's so funny in that way. It's just nice to watch something that's got a change of pace. It's not combat.
The dub is phenomenal. It's one of my top dubs of all time. Maybe my top dub of all time. I don't know, but it's like top 5 show of all time for me. It's crazy. I love it so much.
I think you said that was the one that is the narrator in the dub is the same voice actor who does Brooks' voice acting in the
Yes.
dub One Piece. So
legendary. Yes.
legendary. I'll love that.
Because you watched a few of that, you are gonna have to go back and listen to our Valentine's episode from last year.
Yeah.
Because I do an impersonation of him.
I don't even remember,
Yes.
but I think he does. Yeah.
I think I remember him mentioning that, actually, now that he says that.
Yes.
That he did a Brooke impersonation.
Well,
Uh,
specifically, it was an Ian Sinclair, not for
yes,
Brooke, because of
the
how he portrays like the narrator as opposed to like portraying Brooke. But yeah, essentially, I was Brooke.
you just know asking for panties.
Not yet. Not
Exactly.
yet. Give him time.
It's
So, other than Love is War, what are your other favorite ones so far in your
I've
little
been
journey?
I've been testing out Jujutsu Kaisen. I watched season 1 of that, and I'm pretty stoked to catch up on One Piece. That way, I can get into season 2 and season 3 of Jujutsu Kaisen, because I keep hearing that season 3 is right there, almost on the way out now. Like,
oh,
Mm-hmm.
it's
gonna be
so
ready for
gas.
everyone to watch.
It's so gas.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Obviously, like I said, Dragon Ball Z was one of the pinnacle ones. I'm pretty sure every kid watched that growing up.
Except Tyler.
Except Tyler. Except Tyler. But yeah, no, that's why I just keep saying
He still
everyone said.
refuses.
Everyone did.
He
Everyone
still
watched that.
refuses to watch the last 2 episodes of Dragon Ball because he's right there.
But other than that, yeah, no,
I'm not heated about this.
I've been trying to get exploring into some new branches of anime, but really just the 1,000 episode hunt of One Piece finishing was just on the forefront. So
Yeah, I know it's taken you a couple years now. And you've been watching One Piece like steady, casually for a couple years. I'm pretty sure. I think you took like a few breaks here and
I
there.
took
So
a small, like, 3-month break when I hit Punk Hazard, because that was a
everybody
little
does.
bit slow.
Yeah.
It was a little bit slow, but then yeah, I got back into it, pushed through Punk Hazard, and yeah, it's really been a heavy grind these past couple months, because winter break,
Yeah.
doing a lot less work and a little more anime time.
I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with that. We encourage people to watch, anime, a lot of anime. So,
All right, I do have a question for you before we move on too much further into One Piece. So, you said you were on episode 960 what?
963.
963? Okay.
I had to click on my tab.
I know. I know you did. I watched you do it. So my question is, how are you enjoying the flashback?
I like the flashback giving a little bit more of the history of not only Odin, but then Wano itself. Like, Wano was so confusing at first because, like, you're trying to understand the culture, but, like, I feel like a lot of the citizens of Wano didn't even know their own culture because they were so scarred from being traumatized by the brutal beast pirates just taking over their entire country and locking them down. And the flashback is really like hitting into it. And like I said, 963, so Whitebeard is just showing up. So I don't really have any more info other than that. But that's yeah. It's
Man, I can't
it's
I
it's
can't
an
wait for you
adventure.
to just get a couple more episodes in.
I'm
Just a
ready to
couple more.
I'm ready to see. I was really excited to finally learn about the blade a little more, Enma, because
yeah.
I'm obsessed with all the swords of One Piece. It's a silent obsession. I've been like messing with understanding the different grade levels and like the differences in powers that like each individual wielder might have with the different blades and stuff like that. And I'm one of those weird people that tries to do power comparisons, but doesn't always work with these blades, and I've been slowly learning that with like blades like Enma.
Did you ever watch that Netflix anime like one episode, I think it was about
It's
like
called Monsters.
yeah, I was trying to think of what it was
So
called.
I know I mentioned the title to him. I don't think he's watched it yet.
I if you enjoyed like the swords and stuff like that, this is like a back like this is like from Oda's one shot. Like basically you can tell like this is like before One Piece. And it's got a lot of similarities between One Piece but he actually linked it to One Piece as well, even though he wrote this before One Piece. So like you get to see like it's not Zoro,
It's the
uh
guy who gave him Shusui
in
at what was
Thriller,
it? Thriller Bark.
Oh,
the
the
zombie
legendary
dude.
swordsman Ryu.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's about Ryu
Ryuman.
pretty much, Ryuman or
Nice.
whatever, pretty much. And he's got the sword and stuff. It's actually a pretty cool time. So
That
I
sounds like
would,
something I might check.
yeah, you need to check that out because especially if you like that the swords and stuff, because it adds a little bit to his story and stuff. So
Sad when Shusui was taken away, but I understand it now. I was upset for a few episodes, and Nam was just like, "No, chill out, just wait. You'll understand. Don't worry.
He's like, "What happened to Shisui?
I
What
need
happened
to
to
know.
Shisui?"
He
And I
can't have
was
two
just
swords,
like,
3-sword
and
style."
I was like, "What episode are you on?" All right, just wait until this episode. Wait till this episode.
I can't wait till he gets to Roof Piece.
Oh
Like
God.
peak One Piece, honestly. So
I already told him it's like episode 1063 or something like that, or 1057, but it's gonna be his favorite episode ever.
probably
If you guys can't figure out why, just look behind his big ol' head.
yeah. Yes.
Y'all should know what I'm referencing. All you One Piece nerds out there know exactly what I'm referencing. He doesn't yet, but he will soon in about 100 episodes.
Yeah. Then he's gonna get to 1015, which is one of my favorites of all time. So I love that shit. But
nah, he's also gonna love 1063.
Yeah, he is. I mean, I did. So if that's the right, I know what you're talking about. I don't know if that's the right episode or not, but it's definitely one of the top episodes.
So
cool.
No. The one I'm talking about that is gonna be his favorite involves Zoro. The other one that he's gonna love is Gear 5.
Oh yeah. Gear
I've
5
been
is
waiting for Gear 5.
Yeah. Gear 5 is like, just a little bit past that, I'm pretty sure. So
it's like 1063.
I think
Bounce
it's like
Man is comical.
1071 or 1072, I think. So
I'm waiting. Everyone said they got more and more outrageous and outlandish as they go, and I laughed so hard when Bounce Man came out. I took it so unseriously at first, and like I realize now that he's actually insanely powerful with that like hockey infusion he's doing, and it's insane. Like, but I'm so excited to see what Gear 5 has in store. I'm excited.
The tragic thing is like, since you wasn't watching it as it was doing, you missed out on like all the video trends that went around when he like the monkey and stuff like that. So like it was peak. It was
so great.
It was peak short videos on like all my algorithms, like on Instagram and shit. Like it was just people doing shit from the Gear 5, and I loved it.
So we're gonna have to definitely save
start
a lot more of
spamming
this
some
chat.
videos to me.
Yeah.
No, we're also gonna have to save a lot more of this chat for another time, because obviously we could talk about
hours
the entire anime over this entire episode, but that is not why we are here.
No, we are not here for anime this time, unfortunately, even though, most of the time we are talking about anime, but we're talking about One Piece live action today, specifically season 2 and sort of season 1 too, because it goes hand in hand. But season 2 just dropped a few weeks ago, like I said, so we wanted to get on here as fast as we could and bring Psycho with us. That way we could talk about it, because we talked about season 1. Well, Nam and Dan did, I'm pretty sure, or was it Dan and Bass? I don't remember.
Someone talked about season
I had to miss
1 live
it.
action.
Like I was supposed to be there, and I think my internet was out or something, and I couldn't be there. So,
Look,
I didn't get to go.
We're just trying to get this out before One Piece season 2 comes back.
Yeah. The
One Piece season 2. Yeah, anime. I see what you did.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll get Thomas back on for a future episode when he gets caught up. That way we can talk about like his favorite arcs, his arcs that he doesn't like, favorite characters, all that stuff. Just kind of like do a deep dive into his One Piece journey, because we love to talk about One Piece and especially when people are catching up on it. So it makes us reminisce in the good old days. You know what I mean? When we watched it too for the first time. So
Yep.
but
Sure, it's nice.
To get this party started, like I said, we're going to be talking about One Piece live action season 2. And the first question I want to ask is kind of geared towards Psycho Thomas over here. Because we have talked about the One Piece live action season 1 before. And we done a whole video over it and stuff. So people kind of know our general thoughts on what we liked about it, all that stuff. But I want to, before we get started with the season 2 stuff, I want to know how you enjoyed season 1. If you can remember, did you enjoy it? Was there anything that you wanted them to get better at that you didn't like for this season? Did they do it? Stuff like that. So
I feel like, honestly, as far as live action interpretation of an anime would go, I feel like I don't really have that many gripes about any of the live action interpretations. I feel like the costuming is on point. Their choice between CGI and costuming is really good. Like, the times when it should be a costume, it's a costume, and the times when it should be CGI, it's CGI. And they're both done super well too. The Fishmen, honestly, was expecting them to look a lot more comical or be a lot more CGI, and they honestly hit the nail right on the head with those fishmen in season 1. It was beautiful.
one thing that I was kind of like disappointed in a little bit with the Fishman stuff is we didn't get to see I forget his name. I think it's like Hachi.
Hachi, the octopus man,
Yeah.
the one who makes squid balls. Yeah.
Well,
The takoyaki man.
you remember Zoro fought him in Arlong Park, and
he did because he had 4 swords.
Yeah, and he did. They didn't do that in the live action, and I assume it's because. Can you imagine how much work they would have had to do in order to do that? So
4 sword. Well, imagine how much work it is doing the 3 sword style as well as they're doing already in.
Well, like the octopus, octopus,
Yeah,
octopus man, you know what I mean? Like, how hard would that? That would be like full CGI. I feel like, and in order and like putting into action, and but I feel like if it was like season 2, they would have done it. But since it was season 1, it wasn't proven, and they didn't know how it was going to do, so they didn't want to sink that much money
too much
into
into it.
know?
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, though, they still put like $144 million
They put
into season 1.
Yeah,
it was a huge
budget.
Like,
it's not like they didn't do a lot, but no, the bigger problem is making it look organic enough to be believable, and a lot of what they're doing is practical effects, which is really leading a lot more credibility to everything. Like, even Zoro doing the 3 sword style, yeah, I bet you that sword that goes into his mouth, the guard is probably able to be bitten into, and it's probably super fucking light. Like, it doesn't weigh anything, right?
I think
But
all of them are super light too, honestly.
He showed the different prop swords that he has. He has a few different ones. There's like the all metal ones, but they're made of like a super light alloy, so they don't weigh as much as a regular sword. And then he's got the little partial swords that they use for CGI. And
it's just hard to really emphasize his the sword in his mouth, like using the sword in his mouth in the live action. Like the anime, they can do it because they do it, but for the live action, it's hard to really make that sword not look useless. It's pretty much useless in all the scenes. He just puts it in there, and then it's just being held there.
Yep.
But what can you do? Like like it's a stupid thing that Oda designed or whatever for the anime and manga.
Trope.
Yeah, so like you can't do the shit that they do in the anime in the live action. You know what I mean?
It's no more silly than a fish man or freaking anything like that, or the sword that the freaking shark dude uses. Arlong uses that axe sword, spiky pole thing, whatever that is. Like, no
shark tooth sword.
Yeah. One thing that took me a lot to get used to, like when season 1 started, was the size difference. Like in the anime and the manga, like we got dudes like Garp. He's like so tall. Like Arlong, he was really tall too. and like to adapt that into live action, they had to tone that down a lot, and it took a little bit to get used to for me because I've always seen like the super like tall people in the One Piece and stuff. Like it's the style of Oda or whatever. So
Yep.
it took a lot for me to get used to, but I understand why they can't do that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I'm wondering what they're gonna do for someone like Kuma or something like that, who's actually supposed to be a really big machinista. Like
yeah,
he's
I mean, I would assume they would probably play around with like they did with the Giants, probably.
he was like size scale videoing kind of deal.
Good luck to them. Is all I know. But
Good luck for that.
yeah, Kuma has to. They have to put Kuma in there. If they keep on going.
Honestly,
So
it would probably
And
be
he has to be
easier for
big.
them to do it for Kuma than somebody else, because all they have to do really for Kuma is get somebody in
make
like
a hot air balloon.
not a hot air balloon, but like a slightly bigger suit, but have it be something where then they just like enlarge that slightly on the scenes.
Yeah.
So
Right?
kind of like how they did with Hagrid in the Harry Potter films.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't need to be quite that size, but just get that overall emphasis of the actual
Imposing
shape
scale.
and the scale, and then from there you can, up it, and that would be a great way of doing it. It's not like they can't do it, right? They've got great interpretations of all the characters that they have introduced so far. Like, even take Mr. 3, for instance.
Peak.
First off, I love that actor. He does a great job every single time, no matter what. He's always giving it 110%. But like the way how the fucking hair stuck, and then just the way how he acted and how he performed and everything, like it was so spot on. It truly was Mr. 3. And even Mr. 5. How he was always like picking his boogers and stuff like that, or
Can't win a fight without picking your nose.
But even Igaram with how his hair was and stuff like that, and how the machine guns came out of it and stuff.
That was S tier.
They do a fantastic job when it comes to actually portraying people. Honestly,
Yeah.
even like the Fishman from season 1, as cheesy as it is, it's still a grounded, realistic look that I felt did great.
Yeah, because
Can't
you don't want
disagree.
it to be too unrealistic, because like Oda's trying to branch out, like spread out to like the normal world with the One Piece world, let them enjoy it or whatever. So I feel like if you go too extreme, it's going to turn people away,
Yeah, you don't want it to be cartoony. You want it to still be a live action interpretation. You want it to still feel real, plausible.
You want to meet that balance, like
Yep.
that
I
a
feel like
balance
they're
between
hitting
new
it.
people and like fans or whatever. So and some things you got to change. Like for example, like we find out that Garp is Luffy's grandpa like within the first couple episodes of season 1, and like
Yeah.
we don't see that until like I don't know how, like Marineford.
After he's
I don't
on the
know.
green, after
I was
he's on
gonna
the
say.
Grand Line.
Yeah, like it should have been like somewhere in season 2 probably, I would say, but like it's just little things to make it better, I guess. Better make people be able to figure it out better, understand it better. So
Comprehend it easier.
Yeah.
Do have to say, I do
Story
have one
flow, too.
complaint. I forgot all about this, and I was gonna mention it, and then I wasn't gonna mention it, and now I am gonna mention. I have to mention it. Where are Sanji's curly eyebrows? Where are Sanji's? It's such a simple thing. They could have done it so fast. Makeup, real quick, 2 seconds, curly eyebrows, happy man. Instead, they spited me.
I remember that being a complaint too of mine when I first watched season 1, but after watching season 2, I didn't notice it as much because it is what
I
it
do gotta
is.
say is I like the fact that Sanji's not just always stuck in that drab black suit. The fact that they're giving him costume variety like everyone else. It's so it makes me happy because the fact that Sanji never got these costume changes and everyone else was getting all these cool new costumes and outfits and stuff, it makes me feel happy he's getting those outfits in the live action interpretation.
He had to look good.
He does look good. He
Yes,
does look good with variety outfits too.
One thing about season one, I want to touch on real quick because it was one of my major dislikes. I think like nitpicks about season one. And I want to know your opinion on it. And that was the famous Nami scene, Nami and Luffy scene. Do you think that they done a good job with that in the live action or no? Because I didn't think so.
So my answer is probably going to upset some people. I thought it was stupid, but at the same time, I think they did a very good job of making it be exactly like it was in the anime too. So like, but I kind of thought the anime scene was kind of stupid.
I thought it was cringy. Like I thought it was
Yeah.
like
Why is she
unserious, and I
stabbing herself in the arm? Like she could have been like dramatically like scratching at it or something like without the knife, and it would have made just as much of an impact. Like
I felt
I don't know.
like Inaki's performance during that scene kind of made it feel less serious, and I feel like that's the whole point of that scene was to be serious. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I had a lot of issues with that scene because I feel like that's the biggest part of season one, in my opinion, was that iconic scene, and I feel like it fell flat. So
Yeah, because he pretty much tells her to shut up. You're my friend. I'm gonna help you. Like that's what friends do. I don't know how many times I can count that Luffy said "shut up, you're my friend," but that's like his catchphrase now.
yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to know about that because that was my biggest complaint about season one was that scene not being serious enough, not having enough emotion. It felt like it was played out as more of like a lighthearted, cringy moment or something like that. So
I can
I don't
see
know.
that. I can see that, but at the same time, I feel like they did a good job of making it seem like. But at the same time, think that it was supposed to portray the fact that she was still stuck on this like childish thought process, and it was like a growth moment for her out of that. And
mhm.
so the little bit of childishness to the scene helps just portray that growth a little more, I think, in the live action.
Well, not to mention, I think that they're gonna show like a slower, more gradual growth amongst the cast as they go, right? And I think we've started to see that a little bit in how they've evolved from season one to season two. But at the same time, too, they're not gonna do it as drastically as what we got, say, during time skip. Where time
Yeah.
skip, it was like, okay, all childish nature went out the window, and now we're fully adults.
We're all
No,
super serious warriors, yeah.
I think it's now okay. We're gonna take this in a more slowly gradual path where we're gonna still be a little bit childish at it, but we realize that this is a serious moment, and we're gonna try and take this as serious as we can, And now it's getting to the point where we're dealing with like Laboon, and Luffy's just really snapping at him and stuff like that, and he's not really joking around and whatnot. And he's finally starting to understand as well about Laboon instead of just trying to fight him. So like the growth I think is a little bit more like spread out as well. And I think that's what they're also showing too.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. One Piece, as you go along the journey or whatever, uh, that's the whole point of it. Is like they learn. They mature and they learn and they become they establish their relationships is with each other, and just like Oda said, that's what it's about. That's what he loves writing the most. Um and that I feel like that's what most people love watching the most. They don't watch it for like I'm sure some people do, but like I feel like a lot of people watches it for not the fights, but like for the the journey, the relationships, the characters, and like the journey that they evolve on. So
Oh yeah. That's definitely why I get into it. Like, the battles are nice, but if you really want to watch any kind of battle anime, you could watch like Dragon Ball Z or Naruto or something like that, and you get a lot more battles that are a lot more explosions and energy and stuff like that. But you really come for the character growth and then the new relationships that they develop and the people that they help. Like, that's the big part of it, I feel.
And
And then after you get past all of that, then it gets to all the storylines and the mysteries and finally getting all the answers and the resolutions to all these open plot holes that have been standing in your face for, 10, 15, 20 years.
40
You
years
still
in
don't
your
know.
case.
yeah, 40
Yeah,
years.
40 years. Fucking going in for my hip replacement. Still
Yep.
don't even know what the fucking One Piece is.
That's funny. So yeah, with that being said, since we talked a little bit about that, season 2 was definitely my favorite of the 2 seasons that are out. Do y'all have a favorite? Did season 2 like grab y'all like it did me, or
I don't know if
Season 2
season
is
1 and 2 can be compared like that. 2 is so good. 1
yeah,
was like really good as a start, but 2 is like up there.
it's so good. I think
two is
yeah,
fantastic.
I think I give like the season 1 like around a 7 or something like that because I had some complaints or whatever. But like honestly, like season 2, I almost had 0 complaints. Like it was like a 9 or a 10 for me. So like it was so good, man.
I think we're right about the same there. I think I said about a 7, 7.5 for the season 1, and then I think I said a 9, 9.5 for season 2. And the only reason I did a 9 was because I wanted to make sure to leave that room just in case 3 blows me out of the water.
Just do like I do. Just give them all 10s going forward. It's fine.
Just every single one gets a 10. It's One Piece 10. We already know 10.
You haven't even watched it, you're already rating it.
But
I just
yeah,
know episode 1 already held so many big, huge things right off the bat that just from the first episode alone, it was smashing it out of the park.
yeah. I just want to make sure, like, I had a feeling that everyone was going to, be on the same page there, but I wanted to double check because there are some people that really hold season 1 very highly, but I felt like season 2 did a really good job at, like, stepping, taking a jump forward as far as quality and everything else goes. I think Oda even said, I think in one of the interviews I watched, they said that when they got together to do season 2 and season 3, Oda specifically told them that everything had to be bigger after season 1. It said
Yep.
everything has to be bigger and better going forward, and so they literally did. So
because you're going under the Grand Line, you can't skip out on that. I mean, Logtown was the biggest pivotal moment, and they absolutely killed it there. Well, we got to circle back though real quick before we start diving into all the arcs and whatnot. um, First off, we got to talk about the casting.
yeah. Yeah, we do. That was one thing that I really wanted to talk about because that is, I feel like that's the most important part of like a live action, especially One Piece, is like the casting and the characters that the people that play the characters and stuff like that, and if they did a good job and stuff. Because as we know, Oda, basically plays a big part in hand selecting all these people. And like even in the podcast I watch, he says that when he watches the auditions for the people, he tries to find someone that not only matches the character looks, but also their origins. Kind of
Well,
like
no, he tries to go for someone that has their core beliefs and personality, right?
yeah.
Someone that effortlessly portrays that character without even auditioning.
Mm-hmm.
Which
He said he just
honestly,
knows. He said I just know when I see the audition. I don't have to meet them. I just know what they're
yeah,
like.
no,
So
and honestly, it makes sense too, especially with a lot of the people that they did cast, right? And I'll be the first to admit, right? my biggest upset was Katie Sagal as Correa, and it's not against Katie Sagal.
She
I
done a
do
good
want to
job.
state that now. It wasn't against her, but if we could have had Jamie Lee Curtis, I was already imagining that role the moment that she even mentioned that she wanted to be that
And
that
she
role.
was an insane fan as well. Like I feel like it could have been either. I'm not upset at the casting, but I feel like I would have preferred Jamie Lee Curtis as well.
No, honestly, like seeing Katie Sagal, you can see pretty much her through the outfit and everything, but she still killed the role.
Oh
She
Mm-hmm.
did
yeah,
a fantastic job. She has that right amount
Doctorine-esque.
of bitch to throw around.
Yep.
I'll call it what it is. She knows it.
The
She's
Doctorine is
willing to
that.
wield it.
It's a witch, though. I think that's what they call her in the anime.
Yeah,
They call
it's
her
a
A
witch.
witch.
Yeah,
Um,
I know witch.
But no, honestly, though, still fantastic casting, and you even have others too. Like there was Callum Kerr, Smoker.
Bad.
As looking at the photo that they sent when they were like, "This is Smoker," I was like, okay. Seeing him in the live action, I was like, okay,
He fits the role,
okay.
but I feel like he could have had about 6 more inches of height. I feel like Smoker's gonna be thrown off as short guy syndrome throughout the whole live action now because he's just a short king loving life, being his Smoker self instead of this
Look,
6 foot tall imposing monster that Smoker was in the anime. You know,
it's just the opposite of what happened with Wolverine. All right.
All I know is Smoker, like Column, like his jaw, it had to be hurting, bro. Keeping those 2 cigars in his mouth. Like he had to open that shit. Like he had to open it wide to get that shit in there.
Those are fat cigars too. Just having one of those in your mouth would be a jaw work.
Every time you turn around, he's just like. I thought it was so funny.
Oh yeah.
But like
But
his intro was like badass too. Like when he first come on the screen and shit. Like it was so cool, man. Like riding the bike up. So
Yep.
I loved it.
Yep. Another guy that I already mentioned, David Desmalkian, number 3.
Yeah.
I don't need to go over that again. You guys already heard it. Julia Raywald Toshigi. I mean, absolutely killed it as far as the looks go.
Yeah.
Wins. Absolutely killed. And then the personality, right? Like
the
nerdy
nerd seeping through, you know what I mean?
Yep. The little sword nerd running around all scared, but yet she knows what she knows, so she's confident in that.
And then when she gets in front of Smoker and she's like doing the button wrong, he's like, "Your button's wrong." Just like in the anime.
For her, she actually didn't ever know. She didn't know how to handle. She never handled swords before this, so she had to go through like intense training to get to the point that she was at. So it's kind of really cool to know that she went through all that and gained all this knowledge just for One Piece, man. That's dedication.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if she's as good as a swordsman as the guy who played Aragorn.
Who knows? Maybe. So I have 2 more castings that I want to talk about. One, Rob Coletti. I have never wanted to throat punch Wapple more in my life. Rob Coletti, you played a fantastic villain. Bravo to you. I would never punch you in real life, but my God, if you were Wapple, I would deck you so fucking hard.
He actually killed it. Like he made you want to just he just made you hate Wapple even more. He's such a good actor. He knows what he was doing. So
like the way how he came up and he just fucking backhanded Vivi in that scene.
Yeah, he knows how. Like he did like the perfect entitled king role. You know what I mean? Like he was he was just so entitled. So I loved it.
his entire mannerisms and everything too, like how he was scoffing at everything. He was like, oh, just so great.
It really was. He's one of my favorite performances, honestly, because he killed it. So even though I hated his ass, he killed it though. Gotta give it to him.
Now, the last one, and I know you have something mentioned here in the notes, so we'll definitely talk about this one, right? Charithra Chandran.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Vivi.
Vivi. Miss.
Fuck you if you have any problems with this casting. Grow the fuck up.
Yeah.
That is all I'm gonna say. She absolutely killed this role. She looked fantastic. When she did that dance, it should have been me. It should have been me. Is all I'm gonna say.
Oh shit. Dan is here in spirit, y'all.
The amount of emotion that she put into that role, her absolute portrayal of being not only the double agent, but then also going and portraying that royalty of Alabasta and showing it on numerous occasions, leading up to Drum Island. I just absolutely fantastic. 100% my favorite casting of this season. And if you honestly have a problem with it, seriously, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely something wrong with people that have a problem with it, because it's not because she's not a good actor or something. It's literally because of, you know, how she looks. And that's insane because, like, Oda, like I said, Oda handpicks these like he is a major part in the the actor and actress picking process. Like he's the one that gives the okay. And
yeah, tell Oda he's wrong. I dare you.
Like, literally, she fits Vivi's character. Just because the anime doesn't make her as dark as what they are in the live action, it doesn't matter. It's literally perfect casting.
I've seen people complaining about that.
It's so bad on Twitter. Twitter is so stupid because, like, they complain about Vivi and they complain about Brooke. Do people not know what Brooke is?
I was gonna say Brooke has an afro. He's the Soul King.
Soul King.
He's literally supposed to be a chocolate man. Like, we love that about him. That's Brooke. I mean,
Marshall T. Botchman is who actually played Brooke, and honestly, for the small little snippets that we've seen of him, I got goosebumps.
Yeah. I was happy.
It was so good. You know, like, I don't understand.
Oh man,
I don't understand why people are hating on them for, you know, their looks or whatever, because it's authentic to One Piece. This is authentic.
I think people are just so stuck on a visual 1-to-1, and like I mentioned with people's sizes and stuff, it's really hard to get a 1-to-1 translation from a cartoon where size can be used as a dramatifier to, like, make people seem bigger than human, or make people seem like they have a superimposing body, but they might actually just be a 6-foot tall man. You know what I mean? It's just they seem larger than life.
Or not only that, but then you also have manga panels which are in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no real depth perception.
Literally color in the entire fucking person to represent that they're an actual, like, what?
Yes.
I mean, you know, I could get it. I could get, like, bitching about, like, the casting or whatever if, like, you know, the mangaka wasn't like he wasn't actually picking these people, but, like, it's his manga, it's his characters. He literally has said before that each, like, person he rides is based on a certain
region,
origin,
a caricature,
or, like, you know, whatever. And, like, he specifically said in interviews that when he was picking characters, he not only looked for, like, whoever matched the personality to their core, but also whoever fit the, you know, the origin, the culture that he envisioned for that character. And, like, if you are saying anything bad about Vivi or Brooke or any of the people in this, you are literally saying Oda does not know what he's doing, and he literally wrote the shit.
He wrote it.
You know what I mean? So it's just so confusing to me when people act like they're One Piece fans and then they just go bitch about like the casting, and I'm like, do you not know? Are you?
Long story short, just get cultured.
Yeah, just watch it. Like, it speaks for themselves. Like, Brooke done a wonderful job, even though he wasn't in very many scenes. But Vivi, she killed it, man. She, like Nam said, she's literally one of the best characters in season 2, and probably season 3 is going to be huge for her. So
yeah.
But yeah, I definitely wanted to touch on that because like that is so not cool. to say
cool
the
at all.
nicest way. You should be supporting One Piece if you're a fan, especially when we get this kind of treatment, because this is the best treatment that you can possibly get for live action. I mean, look at some of the other live actions. They didn't get the mangakas didn't get to have a hand in it. They just had to say, "Hey, like
go ahead.
You can make it," but they didn't have no authority in the creative process. It was just like, oh shit, like this ain't how I imagine it, but there's nothing I can do. So, but Oda, he literally made it a stipulation, like, hey, I'm in this shit, and it's not going to be released until I say it's released, until I approve of it, until I'm okay with it. So
I feel like that's what's kept it this good.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is, because you have to change shit, and what better way to change shit is if you have the mangaka's approval. So
yeah.
But
okay, now time to get to the next topic, though.
Well, real quick, I want to. We missed out on someone I thought done a really good job, and that was Dr. Heerlook. I feel like he played his role, and his performance was amazing. I felt like,
bro, when he stripped to show freaking Chopper that he didn't have no gun on him, that was the funniest shit ever. He's like, look, no gun. And I was like, okay, that was exactly like the anime. That was perfect.
He's legit the perfect person to play that sort of person.
The goofy doctor.
Yeah, he's just crazy, man.
Even better. So his name is actually Mark Herelik.
Yeah, I don't know
how Harelik,
but I loved it.
That's crazy.
But yeah, him. He was one of my favorite performances. Mr. 3 was one of my top performances. VV, one of my top performances. I thought Mr. 5 done a really good job, even though he's kind of like a stupid character, but he looks so badass, and he
really does.
Yeah,
he fits the full Mr. 5.
Yeah, for someone that picks their nose while they're fighting, like he kind of gives off aura. You know what I mean? So, Dan would be really proud of Kureya. Like her interest was crazy. Like, had the rock and roll blaring or whatever while she's drinking straight from the bottle, and I was just like, man, that's Dan's girl right there. If only it was Jamie up in there, it would be even better. So, we didn't get to see much of Robin, but I feel like Robin did a really good job portraying a bad girl, a villain. So it reminded me, like, when I first met Robin, I hated her, and I hated her in this too, even though I know what she is or whatever. So Mr. 9 was another good one. I felt like he done a really good job, even though he's a shitty ass agent or whatever, but they done a really good job of him. So I really liked him. But yeah, other than that, I don't know if y'all have any more. Like, do you have any Thomas that you want to call out, like, performance wise, real quick before we move on?
The guy who they had playing Crocus, I don't know who the actor's name is, but he was. I feel like he hit that role on the head too, like branching back to the young guy, but also to the older version of himself. I feel like he could have been like I thought he was going to be like a stockier, like a bigger build, because in the anime they had him really be like a big dude, And plus, he was with Roger, wasn't he?
Like
Because they
back
had
in
the
his day,
picture
I'm pretty
hanging.
sure,
Yeah,
right?
he had him hang a picture of him
He
hanging on
was
the
a
wall
former
in
member.
the hanging in his
Um,
house. He had a picture hanging on the wall of him with Gold Roger. It showed it.
Clive Russell is the actor.
Clive Russell. I feel like he did a really good job. That was
Yeah, he
one that I
did. He
wanted to
actually
say
did.
too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
number 3 was definitely one I wanted to call out. That was one that was in my notes in giant numbers because he was one of my favorite villains from the anime. He was sadistic and psychotic, but yet baroque, as he described. You guys forget. You're doing the work, but you're not baroque about it. And I was like, dude, that made me like, I had goosebumps for a good 5 minutes. I had to replay that scene like 3 times because I was just cheesing and I couldn't focus.
Well,
He
one
did
thing I
so
liked
good.
about his performance, like he had the mannerisms of like an artist. Like he kept on doing like little quips and stuff like an artist would, and I'm just like, man, this dude, he legit like acts like an artist, you know?
Yes.
And that's what sells the character even more when you actually get into the actual personality of the character and bring it to life. And like I feel like all these people done a good job of doing that. So
Oh yeah. Like
yeah.
Zoro and his carefreeness and Sanji and his like dashing personality towards women, but yet as soon as it's Zoro or Usopp, he's just like, one of the dudes. Except Zoro, he's like, boss head.
Yeah, I mean that was back when they had that tension in between them or whatever. Like it's gotten better now, but like I seen people complaining about Mackenyu too, which is Zoro's actor, about how they like I've seen quite a few people saying that they don't really like his acting style, but I don't think they get it. That's how Zoro was in the beginning. He
In the
literally just
beginning,
stood
he was
there
chill.
and he was stoic and he just stood there and like he was a man of little words and like he looks like he was pissed off all the time. Like he looked
I
like
think
he
he
could have
wasn't
no fun.
Yeah, he wasn't quite sure how to be a pirate yet, I don't think. He was still
Yeah.
stuck in that I'm the pirate hunter. How do I resolve myself into this arc of being with the pirate? Even though, like, I know that this is my ticket to becoming the greatest swordsman in the world. Like, how do I put myself with these people and then also deal with his stuff? Because Luffy is obviously a handful for Zoro to deal with. Zoro wants to, like, go crazy on Luffy every now and then. You can definitely tell it.
Yeah, I feel like he's playing early Zoro perfectly. People just don't understand that. I'm sure like a lot of these complaints are coming from like non One Piece fans, or whatever.
Or people that looked at Zoro as a side character, maybe. Like,
Yeah,
I've
maybe.
always seen him as one of the heavy mains. Like, he's literally Luffy's right hand. Like,
Oh yeah,
if
he's number
anyone
2.
mistakes that, you can't mistake it. Like, Sanji could be contested as maybe a potential number 2 on the league, but like, I don't know.
A lot
Zoro's
of people
definitely
think
the number
so,
2.
yeah. But yeah.
Zoro's definitely the number 2. Sanji, I'm sorry. Sanji fans, I'm sorry. Sanji's definitely the left hand. He's the third in command. He's still high up. He's a great, great fighter. Not hating on him, just Zoro's better. Zoro's better.
One thing before we move on to the next question, since we're talking about Sanji, they actually like toned down Sanji's character a lot for the live action. Like in the anime, he's got like hard eyes and he's like doing spins and flips and shit, and
Yep.
all this other stuff. When he sees like Robin and Vivi and Nami and
Any
all this
pretty
stuff.
lady.
Yeah, pretty much, and like they toned it down a lot, like a lot. And like do we think that was a good call for the live action, or do you think that they needed to be just a little bit more like towards that like the source, you know what I mean? What do we think?
I think
I
that
think
oh, go ahead now.
I was gonna say, I think for an older anime, something like that is fine. For something releasing nowadays, I think if Sanji came off that way, that would be way too much and way too strong. There's
Problematic
no
almost.
way, yeah, there's no way that would be acceptable, and there'd be so much backlash on it.
Yeah,
Okay.
and if it gets far enough for Brooke to be a part of it, I'd almost be wondered if he ever even asks anyone about panties.
He
Like,
has
I'll be
to,
real.
man. Yeah,
I know he's
true.
gonna, but I think that it's going to be more of comedic passing as opposed to the straight up pervert ways that it was in the anime, because he was a bit over the top in the anime sometimes.
I wouldn't put it past him to go still over the top.
Yeah,
It is
That's
Brooke
valid.
we're talking about.
It is Brooke. It is Brooke.
yeah. I feel
He's
like
a musician.
they kind like that's his whole shtick. You know
Rock
what I mean?
star vibes. He just
Wh-
don't care. He's
yeah,
partying.
It's the jokes, you know, like the one-liners or whatever. But so they have to do something with that, whether or not they do like the you know the sexual references or not. You know, who knows? So they make a few here and there, like some like slick sexual jokes. So.
Oh yeah, I don't need to worry about my size, Sanji said to
Yeah.
Zoro.
Yeah,
Freaking
I mean,
Nami's like, you guys are idiots.
yeah, they do throw something in there, and I enjoy it. So
Yes.
So I'll let Nam get into the next thing that he was fixing to get into before I, you know, talked a little bit more about the other stuff. So,
But no, so as I was mentioning earlier too with season One Piece has always been a lot more grounded in the effects that they use, a lot more practical. But obviously, as things are getting bigger and we're starting to introduce newer characters, which by the way, the actress for that, the voice actress is Michaela Hoover.
for Chopper, yeah.
Great job. They're obviously incorporating more and more CGI. And what did you guys feel as far as everything goes? First one being Laboon.
Laboon, you know, I didn't really get all tore up for Laboon in the anime. I don't feel like around this time, you know, I wasn't as invested at this point. I don't think, like in the story and stuff. I just thought of Laboon as like a whale or whatever. But I'm telling you what, like the live action, they made that shit. They made Laboon look so cute, but also sad. And like I cried. There was some moments with Laboon because like how can you make a whale look that's like sad
They
and lonely?
did really good job with the eyes for sure.
Yeah. And like that's insane to me. Like I feel like it's very hard to do something like that. And like to be able to like I don't know, play the angles good enough to make them feel cute or whatever, you know what I mean? So but yeah. Do you have any thoughts about it, Thomas?
I think Laboon was just a good add-in on there. Like, I feel like they could have done it so cheesy. They maybe could have just done the inside a little bit and then had the outside be like, I don't know, less scaled, if that makes sense. But instead, they made it to where like it was real. Like a whole ship could have fit in Laboon easily. And so the fact that there was multiple ships in there like does make sense, especially since Laboon literally was sitting there in ambush mode at the bottom of the red line like, bro, I'm gobbling you, you're coming down this free food, bro. I'm getting some.
So cool thing about that, you mentioned like a whole ship can fit in there or whatever. They actually like made they actually got like a football stadium and made that the inside of the well, and they filmed at nighttime because they didn't have a roof over it. So they put they actually have a going merry or whatever, and they put it inside of like a football stadium that they made look like the inside of a well or whatever. Or obviously a fantastical well, you know, because it's
Yes.
not what wells look like inside, you know. But I thought it was pretty cool to find out that it took a football stadium to do something like that. So
that is pretty cool. Especially since they could have easily just done it like green screen or blue screen,
yeah,
and made it work.
That's the thing that I think that's the thing that also sets One Piece apart is that they actually have sets instead of doing green screens. I think that makes it better. And like they do so many sets, real sets instead of just green screens. So also I'm pretty sure in the anime, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Crocus inside the
Yes.
lagoon or whatever?
On an island inside of Laboon. Yes.
Yeah. So I was pretty sure that was the case. So I thought that was a pretty decent change because how are you gonna put him inside of Laboon or whatever, and I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they've done
Yeah,
a good
have it
job
make
with that.
sense.
Yeah.
No, they did. I was okay with how that whole scene went down. And even then too, like the fact that Luffy didn't fight him, it makes sense at this point too. Luffy's not that strong.
Nope.
He's not strong enough to take on a whale that size. I don't
Not
care.
even to punch it once. No.
Yeah, I don't even care what you say. That was all anime only. This part was just pure emotion and stuff like that, and they did a great job of integrating Laboon too into the whole scene and making it seem like it was natural and organic.
Yeah. Definitely did a really good job with Laboon, especially since
Yep.
he's our little whale. So
And the painting on it at the end, the Jolly Roger was so
Yeah.
perfectly Luffy too. You could tell he drew that with his arms stretched out, full stretch with a broom. It was hilarious.
Yeah,
You could tell, just like the anime.
Next one to talk about, we're gonna skip over that one until the end. We're gonna talk about Wapple.
Yeah. Wapple. They
So
went crazy with Wapple. So
they killed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100 out of 10 easily on Wapple. He could have been a big flop, and I had a second where my brain was upset about the little beasties that he made from eating the army men. I wanted to be upset, but then I thought about it and I was like, that's exactly how they looked ridiculous coming out of Wapple in the anime. So they would have to make them ridiculous, and without the CGI, you kind of have to do these big, goofy, grotesque mutant costume style deal. And it was good. It was really good. Like the casting of Wapple himself too was really good. He was perfectly dramatic in the spoiled king kind of way.
Yep.
What did y'all think about the unhinging of the mouth stuff?
That was exactly like the anime though, like literally to a T like the anime. It was crazy because it was like
it was so freaky.
It was
I
really
was like,
weird.
oh my god, what are we watching, bro? Like the amount of work that they put into this shit to make to open his mouth and make it where like those monsters could come out of it. It's kind of insane. So
yeah, but no, they did it in such a great way where it didn't feel like it was too cheesy either. Like it seemed like it was fairly organic for what it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they did that generally for like all the devil fruit powers, right? Like even Smoker and his ability with all the smoke. You had Dragon and all of his wind power. Oops, we shouldn't have said that yet.
Oh no, Dragon using a wind power? What?
All right, so that's still, I will confirm that's still not actually confirmed in the manga.
Mm-hmm.
But it was kind of like a big dead giveaway with the anime this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't remember that scene in the anime and or whatever, so I was kind of wondering if it went like that in actual anime or not.
If I'm remembering the anime correctly, Dragon just started fighting Smoker.
Nope,
I thought he just showed up.
He showed up
and pulled a
stopped him, and then Luffy was able to get away from there.
Yeah,
like he didn't say a word. You didn't actually see him exclaim anything or use any abilities.
Can we talk about that top-hatted, goggled beauty standing behind Dragon in that scene?
Oh
too?
yeah, I've seen that.
That beautiful, beautiful key player hiding in the background.
And I was like, I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure that man is not supposed to be in nowhere near until Dressrosa.
Nope, not until Dressrosa for sure.
We learn about him literally just before Dressrosa, and then he shows up.
Yeah,
and then he does show up in Dressrosa. Exactly.
You know that Leonardo DiCaprio meme, like, the
Yeah. Yep.
That was me. I
That was
I
me
seen you, I was
too.
like, he's not supposed to be here.
Oh,
What's
same
he
with
doing?
Same with Bartolomeo. They did
Yeah.
such a good job putting him in there, even though he wasn't ever actually said to have been there until Dressrosa, when they flash back and he was like, "Oh yeah, I was fanboying you while you were about to be freaking executed." Like, what?
Yeah, but they got a good actor for Bardo too. I feel like
Yeah.
they done a really good job with his outfit and style too. It felt like Bardo. You know what I mean?
I can't wait to see him more serious, more tuned up, because in the beginning he's supposed to be played off as like he's just this little amateur crook that's living in Logetown. Like, he don't know anything about anything. He's not even a pirate yet. And then Luffy is what inspires him. So like him actually being there in the live action makes it hit harder that he's actually directly inspired by Luffy.
Yeah,
Especially being his biggest fan.
He's the number one fan. He's the Bardo's fan. The Luffy's fan club or whatever. The specials.
Hello, Mark. I mean, Brand.
He's so stupid.
He literally called him Mark. I laughed so hard.
But yeah, they do a really good job. I think they said it took Wapple over 2 hours every time that they had to put makeup and get him ready to go into a scene, which is insane.
I could see that though.
Yeah,
I can definitely see that. But the last one that we got to talk about, and the one that ended up being absolutely adorable, we're talking about Chopper.
Yeah, the biggest question for this season, right? Everybody was wondering how Chopper was going to be. And we only got like a few sneak peeks of him here and there before this season dropped. So
some of the
cool.
AI renditions they did of what Chopper was thought to be coming out as were absolutely terrible. And I was so mad at those. I'm glad
it made you worry even more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But they did it good though. He's really good.
Yeah. Even like, so when it comes to situations like this, like, it's obviously we're gonna worry because like, we had the big Sonic thing and like, stuff like this. It's hard to find a balance, I guess. You know what I mean. And Oda even said that he was worried. He was like, I was very worried about Chopper and was very picky and hands on with the final look. That's what he said, and he said that he finally was able to tell them, like, he was finally able to get everyone on the same page because he wasn't liking what they was like drawing up or whatever, figuring out. And he said that he basically wanted them to create Chopper to look like a stuffed plushie. Like, his whole goal was to make him as cute as possible, including the voice actor that was hired to do Chopper. I feel like that they done a good job with that. They made him as cute as possible, and they found the balance because I thought Chopper was perfect. So
the three total actors did an amazing job because they had the big body double, and then they had the voice actor who apparently did a little bit of the facial cueing.
Yeah,
and then they had the mocap actress who did a really good job of making Chopper interact with the world. Because I was mentioning that to Nam in a personal conversation we were having during watching it, that Chopper actually climbing up on things and interacting with things, it was perfectly done. Like, even though he was CG.
He was trying to climb up on the steps and shit.
Yeah. And you could see it, like, when he climbed up onto those little, like, it was the boxes in the chests in that one room where the Jolly Roger was. He literally was like moving stuff as he walked through the room. So like, it wasn't as if he was just a CGI thing interacting through a room. He was actually moving stuff in the room because of the mocap. And I thought they killed it with that.
Yeah. Yep. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, my favorite part was, shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when like we first get introduced and he's hiding the wrong way and he's like, shut up, you can't see me. And she's just like, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
whatever you say.
They nailed that shit. I was waiting for that to happen. So
I think we all were.
I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but did Chopper say shit as much in the anime?
Oh God, no! God, no!
I don't
Not at
think he said
all.
shit at all. Did he?
No, I think they
Not
were
that
trying to make
early.
him swear a bunch right off the bat. I didn't think he started swearing a ton until everyone started flattering him about being a good doctor and stuff.
Yeah. So like you know, I thought like the first time or whatever was very cute or whatever was fine, but I felt like they did it too much. Did y'all think so, or was y'all okay with it?
I didn't really notice it, but now that you're mentioning it, I'm thinking back on it, and he did say shit quite a lot.
Like it was like 10 times, bro. Like he said shit.
The fucking Tyler over here's got a shit
A shit
counter.
counter? You count my
Yup.
shits, know what I'm saying?
The thing is like it's been so long since I watched this part, like Chopper, like Drum Island or whatever, right? And like I was like, I don't think the Chopper cussed. I don't think the Chopper said shit. And like it just felt so weird. It's just like someone like all your life and they've never said anything bad or whatever, bad words or whatever. And the first time they say a bad word, you're just like, what did you just say? Even
What,
though
that
like
person swears?
yeah, like even though you're probably fine with cussing and stuff, it's just like you're taken aback because you're like, what did they say? And I feel like
Chopper, was that you?
yeah, I feel like that was me. I was like, what did he just say? um but yeah, to go on your point a little bit more, Thomas, you was talking about the facial expressions or whatever. They actually got the
Yep.
voice actor to when they was like doing like the emotions and stuff like that. It was all the voice actor. She was doing it while she was like doing the voices and stuff.
That's epic. So they were using facial capture on her too. So
Yeah.
that's
So all the
epic.
little the ticks and the facial features and stuff like that was from the actual voice actor. I think Nom said Hoover or something like that. Nom said her name.
Michaela Hoover.
Yeah. It was from her. So that's really cool.
Phenomenal.
And the the two-leg chopper, it wasn't CG. That was actually
Yeah, it was a
costume.
dude in a suit. Yep.
Yeah.
Then I loved that.
So that was pretty cool to see too, because usually shows would do that CG too. So and another cool fun fact about Chopper that they went like this is crazy. This is how far this is how much they care and how far they went. They actually had a like a stand-in for Chopper, like so Chopper CG, right? So they actually had an actor playing Chopper with a GoPro camera and stuff on them. That way they could get an accurate reflection to put in Chopper's eyes while the scenes was playing.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So they actually had someone to be Chopper without being Chopper. That way they could have the reflection of what he should be seeing in his eyes at all times. That's insane.
Did they only use that stuff for them? I know that we're gonna mention these probably a little later, but like the Unlucky scene, that was one of the CGI scenes that upset me a little bit. Like I feel like Sanji and the one otter,
the cat.
Yeah, the otter cat or whatever that is
Yeah.
supposed to be, could have been a little better. Like the interaction with the bird, his legs lined up perfectly, twisted the bird's neck, just is perfect. But like the otter, like I feel like that fight was a lot more comical than it should have been. They could have like, I don't know if it was the fixed camera perspective or what, but the waiting scene was funny. The waiting music on the freaking thing. I laughed. It was good scene, but like I feel like that CGI could have been a little bit tighter. Like that was my only
That scene was like my top 3 like scene in the show, because I thought it was so like I'm pretty sure they didn't do that in anime or whatever. But I love the way that Sanji like put him on hold. It's like hold on a minute, and then like it's a fixed point, and you just see Sanji just getting his ass kicked.
Yep,
by
he
a
was.
cat.
Dude, those shells were like wedged in his back, and the thing jumped on him and pulled it out and started like scratching him with it. Oh, it was beautiful.
I thought I really think that was like a the reason why I think that they chose to do that was actually probably to save money. Because like there was a lot of action happening off the screen that they didn't have to, CG, So
they weren't gonna do that at all.
Huh? Oh, they weren't gonna do the fight at all?
So that scene was literally on the verge of being cut, but
I'm so glad they didn't.
Taz was like, hey, we have to do something with this, because they had the whole scene where they like were running down and they were gunning him down, right? That was going to be the scene. And instead he actually convinced the producers to allow him to do a battle scene. So what they did was they did it all in one take, and they set it up like that so that way, yeah, they didn't have to like fully choreograph everything.
Yep.
But he was also already tired because as he dove into the building, all the
shoulder checked that.
All the explosives were going off right next to him because they started going faster than they were supposed to. And so he couldn't see where he was going, and yeah, he just straight shoulder checked one of the pillars, dove into the house, and then proceeded to do that fight while exhausted. So that's why he looks so tired in that scene. It's because they were already done with a whole bunch of other takes, and they didn't have any other time left to do it. So they were like, all right, we just have to do it right now. Right this second. Go.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. So for one thing, I gotta give it up to Taz, because like he was fighting by himself. Like he
nothing
wasn't
else
fighting
in the room.
anything.
Yeah,
he was fighting air, and look how he made it be. Like you know what I mean? Like
that's why I said they could have tightened the CGI up for him.
It looked so good, dude.
It was good.
Oh my god!
Can you imagine being the actor that has to fight and like you have to pretend like you're fighting something, but there's nothing there? You know what I mean?
Give him a stuffed animal or something. CGI it out.
Yeah, but yeah, that shit was great. Like and that what Nam said, like it makes it even better because like they found a low budget way to put it in there.
Fit it in.
So because that was like that's a genius director move in my opinion. Being like a fixed camera and just like have bits and pieces, and you get the ideal, and you know what I mean. So
Little Garden felt like a Power Ranger set to me. I swear, like seeing the perspective shift, it was like one of the Zord episodes where it's just all Zords fighting each other for Brody and Dory.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think they've done a really good job. One thing that worried me a lot besides Chopper. Chopper was my biggest worry of this season, obviously, because we just didn't have any idea, and there's a lot of, like Thomas said, there was a lot of things going around, like, hey, this is what it's gonna be like, or you know, whatever, and we didn't actually get to see until like just a couple months before release, like a preview of Chopper or whatever. So and still we wasn't sure about it because we only got to see like a little snippet of it or whatever. So but was Robin or like Miss All Sunday, her like devil fruit powers is, I feel like that's so hard to do. Like it's along the lines of like Luffy is like making it look good enough, and you know, and not just horrible, you know what I mean? Because like her hands are coming out of everything and anything, and like it's hard to do that in my opinion, and like make it look decent. And I feel like they've done a really good job with that. So
that hallway the one time that we got
to see it,
yeah, a couple times, but you know, it gives me confidence going forward. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you know, this is actually going to be pretty cool. So, but yeah,
for sure.
Also, the Giants. The Giants was really cool. I noticed that they was doing like camera angle perspectives to save money sometimes, which I thought was really cool. But then like when they're on it, when they was by themselves or whatever, you can tell that they was doing like angle shots or whatever to make them seem bigger than what they should be or whatever. But I'm kind of curious like how they got them to be as big as they was when they had other people in there, you know, in the scene with them or whatever. Was it CGI or was it just them messing with special like stuff or something?
One technique that they do quite frequently, and believe it or not, Star Wars episodes 4, 5, and 6 really help popularize it. They take the setting, right? So they have like the cave and it's set to be for giants, right? And then they take a version of that and they make it human sized. they record the one side and then they record Usopp and Nami, right?
So
And
it's
then
all
what they'll
about the
do,
surroundings looking bigger
Yep.
or smaller to make the people in it look bigger or smaller, right?
so yeah, Dory and Broggy, for instance, they'll look gigantic because the cave that you see is
They're
actually just the
small.
smaller
Yeah.
cave. But what they'll do is they'll have Nami and Usopp running around on things that are much larger and have approximations set up for certain items so that way they could just implant them into the scene and it looks organic.
Yep, they did that for the Hoth scene with the big giant dog walkers and Luke going and attacking them
Okay,
in
I
Star
got you.
Wars.
I was
Yeah.
wondering how they
They
pulled that off, because I
the
wasn't
Death Star
sure.
flying scene and stuff
Yep,
like that, and all the
those
TIE
were similar.
fighters and X-Wings in there. Anything where in like think of any of the Star Wars movies 4, 5, and 6 where it's like a really, really big thing and it seems like they would use a lot of money for effects. They just built a really, really tiny thing and had really, really tiny ships, and they're just filming them in such a way that you can't see the difference. And then all the special effects make it look like they're actually real and running. And then you do a shot of the cockpit and okay, now it's a whole scene and they're flying and you can't tell the difference.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Movie magic.
One
Yeah.
thing I also learned was like the when they was going up the waterfall or whatever, reverse mountain, they actually built I almost said sunny. They built a Going Merry and put it at a very like 40, they said some kind of angle. It was like a very steep angle or whatever, but it was safe still. But they actually recorded the scenes on the ship or whatever, and they was like splashing water on it or whatever, and that's how it looked so good, because they actually was recording at that angle. So I thought that was really cool. They didn't like try to do it on a flat surface or whatever and just try to fix it up and act like it or whatever. They actually did it on that slope or whatever. So
Yeah, they propped it up.
yeah, it's
Them
pretty cool.
sliding on the decks were key parts of making that look good. That scene looked really good too.
Yeah. Um yeah, it was fun. So is there anything else y'all want to talk about with like CGI and like the like all that stuff or whatever? Looks and stuff, quality.
Oh, they
No, I think we just
nailed
have to
the heck
talk
out of
about
it.
the last thing.
Y'all didn't want to talk about any mention any like favorite moments that we haven't yet. Do y'all have any?
Yes, now that you
Okay.
mentioned that, I did have one more that I wanted to bring up. When Usopp gets his first big W, getting freaking just megaton hammered by Miss Golden Week.
Getting that
I mean, not Miss
concussion,
Golden
baby.
Week. It was Miss Wednesday?
No, it was
The
it
yellow
was,
one.
it was shit.
I can't remember. Is it Miss Wednesday, I think?
Miss Tun Fruit. That's
yeah.
what we call her.
But
Valentine.
Miss Valentine, that's right.
Yeah.
Dude, he was just getting clobber knockered, and then he just smiled like, yeah, I did my job. You might have been beating on me, but look at this. Oh, it was beautiful.
One of my favorite parts about like that whole like Little Garden was my favorite arc, I guess you say, in this season, because we did like a lot of arcs. We did Larktown, we did Reverse Mountain, we did Whiskey Peak, Little Garden,
Whiskey
and
Peak
Drum
and
Island.
Little Garden. Yep.
So we did like a lot of arcs, but Little Garden was my favorite. Just like Nam was saying earlier, Mr. 3 really made Little Garden like so much better than it should have been in live action form.
That cake was perfect. The little wax cake thing that they did, that was good.
Zoro's like, I'm just gonna make a pose.
Yep, might as well. He's like, y'all are regretting not making a pose, aren't you?
It was so funny. But yeah, that was a peak moment. It's like Usopp, he eat that shit up. You know what I mean? For the homies. So
and that's exactly, he was gonna die a warrior's death. Freaking Brogy and Dory, it inspired him. He wants to be like the giants of Elbath.
Yep. I mean, that's his whole thing. So, also one of the moments from Little Garden that I really liked, and I thought that, um, thought that Luffy Rinaki Godoy, he actually did a really good job at acting like Luffy this season. Like, and just acting in general. I thought that he improved a lot. Like when he got painted on by Miss Golden Week, and like he was being forced to like sip the tea and stuff, and he's like, "This tea is delicious," or whatever. He felt like a Jim Carrey moment, and the color of this
Liar,
pen
liar. Yeah.
is like it was that type of shit. And I thought it was great. And like he was just like going through all the emotions, like, and I think it's hard for an actor to do that like so fast. And like he was doing it like one after another, going through all them emotions, and and him just fighting the urge to say like he won't ever find a one piece of shit. I thought that was like great. Like that was just a great scene for him, I thought, and one of my favorites. Also we got like the meme, the Zoro lost meme too. I'm not lost. I have a great sense of direction. They're transcending into the live action. I love it. They're keeping the meme alive. So
Yes.
Yes.
No, honestly, my favorite parts are probably Logtown because of how they did that, right? From like Zoro and the sword scene
oh
to
yeah. Yeah.
Luffy on the execution platform. And even then too, just seeing Bartholomew there way, way earlier than we ever did in the anime. But then also to Drum Island, specifically Island 7, or not Island 7, episode 7. That episode, I know Tyler went through at least 3 boxes of tissues.
What happened in episode 7? Was that the backstory?
That was the backstory episode of Chopper,
Yeah.
and
Like,
here
I'm telling you, man,
looks and
I cried a lot during my One Piece.
I
Like
cried.
I watched the whole season in like a day and a half. So, because I was trying to get it done before I started working and stuff. So I ended up staying up till like 3 a.m. one morning and watching it, and like you would be surprised how many tears I cried that night.
Gator tears too, I bet.
I am not surprised. I am not surprised in the slightest. I do want to let you know, chat. I've known Tyler long enough now that I know how many boxes of tissues he goes through. You should have seen it for one of the episodes for some of the Kuma episodes. Dude, he went through at least like a pallet full of tissues.
Yeah, I mean it's you know, I don't know, like one of the parts that got me the most was, and this is like an iconic scene, and I wanted to talk about it. It was like the Chopper like crying, ugly crying scene after he finds out that he fed a poisonous mushroom or whatever, like that was so sad. Like I knew it was coming, and I still cried my
I wasn't
eyes
ready.
out.
I wasn't ready. I
Yeah.
cried too. It hit me hard.
No, that was definitely the emotional moment that the live action I think was sorely missing originally, right? Because like you guys were saying, the Nami scene didn't quite hit as hard. Like in the anime, it slaps. You definitely feel the impact of that one, but in the live action, it wasn't quite there. You have some moments like Igaram's death. You have the fight with the giants and all of that, but nothing carries the amount of weight as seeing Chopper grow and then learn all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
Like him just go into the forest to get the mushroom, and coming back all beat up and limping and shit, and so happy and so proud that like he like all that, like that whole shit, man, like that I was crying the whole time, man.
It perfectly tracks though, because Hiruluk's
Yeah.
literal whole goal was just to bring hope back to the island. So by eating the poisonous mushroom that was sure to kill him, all he did was inspire hope in Chopper, and it was just so beautiful but sad.
And then he went to the freaking castle, and I cried even more when he like give a speech and shit, and like that was like top 3 moment of the of this season 2, in my opinion. Probably like number 2 or something like that. It was just his speech, man. Like, cause it was like it was perfect. Like it was a perfect character, a perfect actor playing a perfect character, giving a perfect speech to about like a country that's lost hope because the king is so shit. And that's what literally led Dalton down the path that he took. So,
I was
um,
gonna say you could definitely see how it inspired Dalton in that scene too.
yeah.
It was powerful for him as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was just it was they that's why I love this season a lot more. And Nam said it too. You know, is that it really capitalized on the emotional impact moments, and it actually felt like it should have felt, in my opinion. Um,
There was one that they could have made a little more impactful was the flag scene, I think. And I feel like him putting it up on the wall was
oh
good
yeah,
and him
yeah,
protecting it up on the wall was good. But he put it on the top of the castle in the anime, which is such a more powerful position because like the whole kingdom would be able to see the castle, not just the people that are in that one room. So I feel like they did the scene justice in a live action portrayal, but I feel like it could have just been a little better with Luffy actually jumping to the top of the castle and slapping that flag up there for that.
So I think another bit of it too, if I'm not mistaken, is the context of how it was done. So it was done in the anime because they knew Wapol was coming, and it was also to defy against him. Whereas in the anime, it's to give
In a
hope
contest
to
against Wapol.
Chopper.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
And
valid.
so I think they did it primarily that way because for Chopper, it meant more that it got hung back up again in his presence than it did
Being on the
showing
castle
defiance
itself against
against
Wapol.
Wapol. Yeah.
Nope, that makes sense. That's valid. Like I said, the scene still had great impact. It was still really well done, perfectly executed for a live action interpretation of an anime. But I feel like it could have had more impact had it been on the top of the castle, even just for Chopper alone.
yeah. I mean, they cut out a lot of stuff from like Drum Island. Like the pacing is so fast in this live action. I wish they would slow down just a little bit, but I get it. You know, like
They
they're
have to
trying
keep
to,
the actors young,
yeah.
yeah.
Like for example, like I'm pretty sure they cut out like a lot of like the journey up to the mountain or whatever, and stuff
Yep.
that happens then. I was kind of disappointed with the waffle fight. I felt like it didn't last. Like it wasn't as good as it should have been. But I get it, you know, like Waffle's not, you know, a super
Waffle's not the
bad
big
guy,
boss,
you
yeah.
know.
He's just
Um,
a guy they fought, yeah.
yeah, they was just there to get Chopper or whatever, right? And their main goal is Baroque Works and Mister Zero and all that stuff. And then Chopper was just like a little side mission to, you know, to save Nami or whatever. But you know, speaking of Nami, I thought that like the whole like in the anime, the whole like Nami getting sick and stuff, like that was so much more dramatic. And like it felt like she actually had a chance of dying and stuff in the anime. And I felt like it didn't come close to that in the live action. I felt like it just kind of like, oh, she's just, you know,
They
uh
played it dramatic like she was unconscious for a week, and I think that was all the dramatizing that they did
yeah,
for it. I agree
I
with
felt
you.
like
They
it
could have
needed to
made it
be just
more.
a little bit more like her life needed to feel more at stake. You know what I mean? Because I felt like that's how I felt in the anime when I watched it. So I feel like that should have been. I know they wanted to, you know, kind of like scoot by that as fast as possible to get to Drum Island or whatever, but I feel like they needed to spend just a little bit more time on like the boat scene right there and just you
I think
know,
that's why they had Sanji crying and stuff, though, is to
yeah.
try and show the power and the dramaticness of it. But I agree. They probably could have done a little bit more there too.
Yeah. Um, but I mean, like overall, like they done a really good job. One thing, another thing I was kind of sad about is that we didn't get to see Buggy as much because if you know me, I'm a huge fan of Buggy's actor. I think his name is like Jeff.
He's so good.
Funny.
Bunny,
Yeah,
yeah,
Bunny.
Bunny's actor.
Yeah, Bunny.
Her name you remember? You met her one time.
But yeah,
It was so great
It
every
was
time.
beautiful.
Buggy literally carries the show, and it's so sad that we only got to see him for like one episode. Because but he done work in that episode, so I don't even remember Buggy being in Logtown. Was he even Logtown, or is that just an anime shit?
Yeah,
No,
he was. He was in Logtown. Yep.
Okay,
he was the one that took Luffy up there.
Okay,
that was when we also got reintroduced to Alvida.
Okay, yeah, it's been so long, I wasn't sure. So, but yeah, all in all, I think that it was a pretty good season, an adaptation, a live action adaptation. Like, we're killing it, or they're killing it and giving it to us, or whatever. There's obviously a lot more stuff that we could probably touch on, or whatever. Because like it's so packed full of like great moments or whatever. So like
and all the Easter eggs.
Yeah. So I guess before we move on to like the final question or whatever, to wrap this thing up, because we've been talking for a minute now. Do we have any other like moments or anything else before we move on real quick? Okay.
I can think of.
Alrighty. So the final thing that I want to talk about is like with season 3 already in production. I think it's kind of late production too. And the story's obviously heading to Alabasta, where things get even crazier, stakes get much higher, and like all that stuff. Like, is there anything that we are looking forward to, like anything like improvements that we'd like to see going into this next arc, or like moments we're looking forward to, anything like that?
I 100% remember the mole lady being a big thing, and I'm hoping that they make her.
I don't even remember the mole lady.
The mole lady.
She fought Usopp.
I was gonna say, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So we need to, the mole lady needs to be done really well. And then I am super obsessed with the way that they're doing these devil fruit powers. And I'm really hoping that if the fight with Crocodile happens in season 3, that they do his powers justice. Because they're doing good with like Smoker's fruit was really, really well done. Him making the smoke out of nowhere and it not being like too consuming, but at the same time you could see the power of it. I want his power to be like accentuated, but not too much too, because like his fruit was a powerful fruit. I just think that he was too caught up in himself to realize how to use it in the best way.
Yeah.
And that's where Luffy took him over.
Crocodile is the first like official big baddie, you know, like or whatever. Yep. Like he's the first one, and he's the first one with like a legit devil fruit that's actually dangerous, or whatever. And that he's the first one that Luffy has to like like basically lose against at first or whatever, you know what I mean?
Big lose.
So it's going to be interesting how they like pace that is what I'm curious to see, is because like the pacing is like they're flying through shit. I'm just wondering if they're going to like slow down to like spend a whole season on Alabasta instead of like spending like half the season on Alabasta.
3 or 4 episodes. Yeah.
So it's like that's what they've been doing, but Alabasta is they're like they said that they was going to finish up the saga, the Alabasta saga, with season 3. So I'm hoping that they spend all of season 3 on, you know, this thing, because it's such a huge, you know, moment in the One Piece journey. So
I also like that they're keeping us updated on the like marine movements as well. They did in the anime, but I don't feel like it was ever as in depth. It was like here or there they'd throw it in for like a 5-minute section of an episode. They'd update on what the Marines were doing. But like in the anime, in the live action, they're keeping it really tight on what's happening with Smoker and Tashigi, what's happening with the other members of the world government / the Marines. Like it's you're seeing characters play in the background as opposed to just hearing about it later as an after correction or an after add-in to tie continuity.
Yeah,
it's really nice.
Yeah, and like as we get like deeper into the story or whatever, like the whole government stuff, like it gets more important. You know what I mean? Where like the first season, you're kind of just learning about like how everything is, but the government isn't truly the bad guy yet. You know, but now we're starting to get to that point. We're starting to like transition into, oh wait, who's the good guy here? You know what I mean? So
it's hard to tell. Those lines are very blurred at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I just want to touch on that real quick. There's another thing before we get out of here. Um, Apparently there's a rumor going around right now, and I don't know if it's official or not yet, or official, true, or how much of it is. But apparently one of the executive producers, Marty Ottelstein, says they got him saying that they hope to make at least 12 seasons of the One Piece live action, and that it would take approximately 6 seasons to get to the halfway point in the story, which would be very easy to do as of right now. That's what he's quoted for right now. I said I haven't found an interview or anything like that of him saying that, but I thought it would be interesting to mention that because it's it's a talking point that we could talk about, like because at what point realistically do we think that they can adapt up to in One Piece? Because like as we get further into One Piece, shit gets crazier, and like at what point can you not do it anymore and make it like quality? You know what I mean?
I
Mhm.
had this conversation once already with Nam. I'm thinking that, in my opinion, the farthest they can realistically go without having to worry about changing the pace and the set that they're doing, like the way that they're modeling everything, is probably right around Marineford, like right before the time skip. Once you hit time skip, everything changes into something that's well beyond what live action could really do. And I feel like they would have to start going into more like Marvel movie-esque feel to the show to make it feel right, getting beyond the time skip.
Yeah.
But
Well,
that's just
that
my
and
personal
like
opinion.
after the time skip, the arcs get longer, and they would have to cut a lot of stuff in order to keep up with the pace that they've been going at right now. So they would have to slow down in order to fully tell the story that is One Piece after it gets serious, like after, the second half or whatever. Um
So here's my thinking on the whole situation. I don't think that we're even gonna get Impel Down, right? I think we're gonna get Water 7 and Ennie's Lobby, right? And then after that is when they're gonna segue to get people into the actual anime, or maybe the Wit Studio version is finally ready to release around that time, or it's already out and they can get people to continue on through that, right? Because the problem is once you start getting to like Impel Down, Marineford, stuff like that, um,
you start
you
getting like the
start to
wide beard and shit like
you
that.
you start getting into the
Akainu.
territory. That's the territory where it is like Marvel magic, and
That's
now
what I
you're
was
starting to
saying, yeah.
spend like 120 million per episode,
Aokiji
and
freezing the whole harbor. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I didn't even
Blackbeard
think
coming
about that.
in, and Whitebeard doing like shit. Like I feel like it would be hard to do that, but I want to see it because like
I
that's
do
one of the
too.
iconic moments. You know what I mean? Like the parts, the arcs and stuff. So
Maybe they hit
no,
a certain
it would
moment
be
and switch to
cool.
movies, go to feature films to finish it out.
it'd be hard to fit it all in a movie, though. You know what I mean? So
Well, no, so it would be
It would be
movies
like
based
5
around
or
the
6
arcs.
movies, yeah, so you
yeah,
do like a Marineford arc, and then you do post times, like, what was it, the terror place where the
Fishman
met
Island.
Brook.
Sabot. A thriller.
Uh, yeah, Thriller Bark, stuff like that. Those would be like their own movies, I feel like. Sabaody would be its own, like Fishman Island and Sabaody probably together,
Yeah.
If they
probably.
were to do something like that, honestly, it would probably be something where after a few years and once the story's finally done, right, they would find a way to condense the story a lot more and make it like a 5 movie series, right?
Yep. And that's
But
kind of what I
that would
was
be
thinking too.
something where they would also film it like back to back. That's the problem when it comes to TV. TV allows for these elongated stories to really shine, but live action has the crippling effect of age creeping
Yep.
in, and the more effects that they need to keep these actors looking the age and the way that they're supposed to for what is essentially, young adults and kids.
Mm-hmm. And it takes what 2 years for a season, roughly, is what we're
About.
averaging right now. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. As far as that executive producer, like, yeah, if they were to do it all back to back right now, they could definitely get through 6 more seasons.
Yeah, and he said a halfway point in 6 seasons. So like halfway point is around like Water 7 Marineford area. So that's interesting to look at. I just don't know like at what point does people kind of does it turn into like a Marvel type thing and people like just don't watch it because it's like, Marvel
Starting to
is,
get too over the top, yeah.
yeah, like
Probably like season 5, season 6.
yeah, so like you spend so much time, like so many you watch this for so long and like you eventually get tired of it or whatever, right? Or you don't care about it as much. It ain't as hype as it was or whatever. So, and I feel like they wouldn't be able to justify spending the money that is needed to get to that point. Maybe because they don't have like the backing behind it anymore. Because like, can you imagine like being in like Wano? Like, I ain't gonna talk about Wano very much, but like roof piece shit, like Gear 5 shit. Like, I don't know how you would like budget that.
There's
So
almost no way that they can because, like, it would almost have to become a cartoon for that to actually
Just
happen.
even in the Wano that I've seen, how would you live action do the prison? How would you live action do just even the first encounter between Luffy and Kaido?
yeah, I mean,
Like,
I
Kaido
guess
literally blows apart Odin Castle and the entire mountaintop with one beam. Like, that alone right there is the budget for one season in one episode.
what if you had like a director that done like a Hero X kind of thing to be Hero X, like you do the live action and when Luffy hits Gear 5 it turns into the anime or whatever.
It just goes to the anime.
And like I wonder how well that would be received if you did something like that. It's like you have like the style change because of the power change or whatever.
But the problem is that you'd essentially be making it just Who Framed Roger Rabbit style.
That's what I was just
thinking
was Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I was just about to say that.
That's the only example we have. And honestly, like
Space Jam.
No, don't
Space Jam.
There's no way you can get Anaki Godoy to be doing some of the shit that Luffy does. You know what I mean? There's just no way. Unless you spend a lot of money. And I don't think they're willing to spend that much money on like 5 minutes because like they would like blow a whole episode worth of budget in 5 minutes. So
that's not to say that they wouldn't. Honestly, they would, because like Ryan Reynolds for Deadpool, he got like a couple $1 million just to film him literally sitting in a fucking room kicking his feet like he's on a fucking overpass. Like that whole test scene that came out, which ended up being the actual intro to the movie. Fox gave him like just $5 million and said, "Yeah, create something for Deadpool. Have fun with it."
And he did. It was great.
He did. And you know what they decided to do? They decided to sit on it until that footage finally got leaked and fans demanded it. There's no reason why Netflix wouldn't spend like $80 million to animate like a 5-minute thing of fucking Gear 5 Luffy and just be like, "Oh, you want to see this? Subscribe, and no, not even that. Subscribe and check out the anime."
Yeah. Okay, because I mean they have a lot of the anime on Netflix, so
they have all of it. Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I think they're behind.
And they're the ones.
It was on a delay, like they're not simulcast, but it's like a 2-3 week delay or some shit.
They already have all of Egghead.
Yeah.
Egghead's been over for more than 2 weeks, Tyler.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, as the new episodes air or whatever, like, they
Well,
but
it could be that they get them on simul, because now they're the reason why the English dub got caught up.
Yeah. So, who knows? It's going to be interesting to see. Crunchyroll used to have, like, a grip on it, so now they're kind of losing it a little bit as far as One Piece goes. So,
but One Piece is too big for just Crunchyroll.
It is.
Let's be honest.
It's generational, worldwide. So, But
another thing too, if you guys actually didn't realize this yet, I want to get the name of the organization right, but it happened after the live action. Doctors Without Borders official mascot is now Chopper.
Tony
Really?
Chopper. Yes.
Oh, I don't even know what that is, but that's so cool. Yeah.
Doctors Without Borders is an organization that basically they ship doctors from countries that have like first world medicine, and they just go on like missionary trips to these third world countries to just give medical care, like 21st century medical care, to these places that might just not even have simple antibiotics and stuff like that.
That's so cool.
It's
so
beautiful.
Cool that like the Chopper is like the mascot for that shit. That's so cool.
Yes. It's a perfect organization for Chopper to be the mascot of, like literally. Like that's like Smokey the Bear type casting.
Yeah. Pretty much. But like after everything that Chopper has gone through and stuff like that, no, it's a perfect representation, and just it also really highlights just how big One Piece is. You've had like essential pirates, right, and resistance fighters literally raising the
flag,
One Piece Jolly Roger, and then you also have Doctors Without Borders using Chopper as the official mascot now. So like One Piece is no longer able to be contained by just Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
It's literally on everything.
It's the world's now.
Oda is succeeding in his master plan, boys.
I don't even think he knew what his master plan was when he started this. Let's be honest.
He figured it out fast though.
But yeah, I mean, do we have anything else? Because like that's all I have. So
this was a blast.
Hell yeah. Well,
it was a lot of fun.
Alrighty, well, I guess that's it. Like I said before, we could probably spend another hour talking about different shit about the One Piece live action and stuff like that. But you know, at some point we got to cut it off. I'm sure that as soon as season 3 comes out or whatever, maybe we can get Thomas back on here, and maybe Dan will be back too, and we can have a little bit more fun. Just talking about Alabasta, whenever that's gonna be. So, but with that being said, I want to give a moment for Thomas, aka Psycho Slamma, to just give his plugs just one last time for anyone that might have missed it in the beginning. That way they can find him, because he's a cool dude. You should go check him out and support him, follow him on all this stuff. Just like we do. We're in his chat a lot. Nam even plays with him a lot. So
yeah, you'll probably end up seeing me there, or just streaming with him.
Yep,
one of the two.
So
well, again, I'm Thomas, Psycho Slamma, on Twitch, live pretty much every day. Try to be live, sometimes multiple times a day. It was brought up that I am a bit of a degen. We like that around here, though. I've heard.
Yes.
I've heard we like that around here. But yeah, if you want to catch me over on Twitch, it's SYKO_Slamma on Twitch.
Oh yeah, and we'll put the link in the description and stuff like we always do when we have guests on here. That way you can find him easier. But you can go look him up and stuff. With that being said, do we want to sing a round of Bink Sake to leave the show?
No, we're good. We're good today.
Come on now.
Next time.
Gather up all of the crew. It's time to ship out.
It's time to ship out Binks's brew.
Wave goodbye, but don't you cry. Our memories remain.